Invitational. Welcome back here to the CROSSFIRE Global Invitational. And next up, as we said, excuse me, we'll start over here.
Let's start over.
I am Stephen, joined here by Famous.
Hello.
And we're getting ready to move into our second match of the day, OPK versus TNC. And this is going to be an interesting one for basically the opposite reason that we're looking forward to Boss versus SV. Because we just don't know as much as we'd like to about these teams. They're new on this scene. There's some old names.
True.
But new teams on the scene.
Just a lot of new blood and a new team overall.
Right. So I think maybe looking at them regionally, right? OPK coming out of Brazil as the number 1 seed, right? They wouldn't coming in first here, but I know in speaking with you, maybe you don't necessarily believe that that's the case, that they should be the number 1.
I mean, they're the number 1 on this tournament.
Stronger team.
Yes, but I do believe, maybe it's just because I have more friends on Rude. I'll just throw that out there. Maybe that's the
fair.
reason. But still, I think that Rude is just the more consistent team. They've been in the finals for like everything for the past year for Brazil, whereas OPK, as far as I know, has only come up into the finals for that event, and then they just 3-0'd. And with, I think, 1 or 2 new players as well, because something happened with the other player. Don't really know the details exactly. But they 3-0'd them. Just
right.
Sweep.
So it will definitely be exciting to see them come into this as maybe, we've seen it many times before, teams just finding new form just before a big tournament. It's happened quite a bit, and maybe we'll see it again here. Maybe they are an underdog to keep an eye on. I believe you were talking about one of their players being incredibly skilled.
Yeah, Brinks 33. I'm not sure exactly what his game name is going to be for this, but it's like BRNKSS.
BRKSS3.
Yes, that's the player to look out for, because as far as I've been told and as far as I've seen from like the practice, he's the best player in Brazil. He's nuts. Expect him to frag hard. Expect him to impact frag the most.
Yeah, well, it'd certainly be interesting. I mean, and then if we look over at the TNC lineup, it does look actually. There's definitely been some name changes.
Yes, slight bit. Not a single name on the paper is the same. So I'll just say this about...
But you will see some faces.
Yes.
That you will recognize.
When it comes to the faces, all right, so we have... If you guys recognize Cram, the name Cram, he was in Pacific Makta before. The most iconic out of all of them will be him. And then secondary would be the Pacific War player from the past. I don't remember his IG, and they changed them so much. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But you recognize him. He's the guy with the ponytail. And... he was a beast back in War, so I'm expecting those two to really shine.
I mean, we've seen incredible performances from both of those players individually in international events. Yeah. Like, Cram has had some pop-off rounds and pop-off, tournaments, basically.
And you know what? In Makta, he wasn't the star player in Makta, that's for sure. But the thing is, like we said about Chongar before, some players just don't shine in certain teams. So maybe this is his team where he's really going to shine.
Yeah, he was always put... For me, it was
bad positions.
Right, he's not put in that in positions to carry. He's more of that, where you want put in the where you put.
Where
your
do
rock.
I not want to play? Or that too, but
the rock of
where do I not want to play?
I mean, you
can
can't
go there, bud.
You can't say it that way. I mean, because if you look at a player that basically played a similar position to Cram on Makta is Double Q for SV, but he makes it work in a good.
Come on, man, that's not a fair comparison, though.
Right. I mean, it's hard to put.
WQ is 2 times the person and the player. I'm just kidding. I just had to say that out there because
he's a big old teddy bear. I love WQ.
He's awesome.
He looks so intimidating, but he's so actually nice. Just a teddy bear.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But I think, again, this is a classic regional matchup. I'm sorry. For a second there, I got it in my head that OPK was Vietnam. Brazil versus Philippines, not a classic regional matchup. I apologize.
But we can pretend that it is.
We can pretend.
Yes. But I'll just say this about the matchup. It's going to be, we don't know, I can't even put a prediction on it. I'm going to say, just for the fun of it, that OPK is going to come out on top because they have Brinks. He's the best player in Brazil, but TNC doesn't have the best player in Philippines on their team. So I'll just give them the upper hand and just throw my cards in there.
I always find it really hard to predict Brazil games.
True. Because they're so strong against like China. for example. They're one of the strongest regions against China. They win the most maps and most matches. But then against somebody like Europe, they just can't seem to handle Europe.
But even beyond that, it almost seems like their form coming into the tournament is almost never indicative of the form that they play in the tournament.
What do you mean?
Like, they could look pretty lackluster coming into the tournament. You're like, okay, we'll see what they can do, but I'm not expecting
come
much.
out on fire.
And then they come out and knock out, and then take down some Chinese teams. But then sometimes you're like, okay, this is the year that Brazil's going to be like the region to
Something
watch,
special.
something special, and then they just fall flat.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. You're probably right on that.
I mean,
for me, it's just the whole outlook on the whole China and EU thing. I think it's just a matter of who they play.
Compare that to the Philippines as a region. Like, they're so consistently almost contenders.
Yeah.
For me, at least. Like, they have a level they're consistent. You get any tournament they come into, you can easily see them and be like, I could definitely see them taking third place.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
And you see that every time,
Yeah.
where you can't say that about regions like Vietnam. You say Vietnam might be second, they might be first, or they might be dead last.
Yep.
And I feel like that's also similar for Brazil. That like they might be challenging, but they might be. There you go. So it will be. He has changed his name to M4C. Oh, that's just
The player
mean.
from Wara.
Yeah.
And then we got the XMKC that is Cram from Makta.
Come on, guys. That's just. I feel like they're just trying to troll us as the casters here. Followed by Madala, RGM. We're gonna not use the X's, right? M4C, MKC, RGM, and Dark.
And I'll say this about RGM. I do recognize him from MSI, or not MSI. Yeah, actually, MSI was the old team name for them.
Okay.
Back before Makta really became a big team and so back in like 2013, 2012. I do recognize him. So he's also an old player, veteran.
Yeah, I think they'll be certainly an interesting team to look at going forward. I mean, like I said, I enjoy watching the Philippines teams play. I just always want to see them improve.
Never know what to expect. You never know what to expect with the Philippines. I mean, just the play style. I mean, like, because they're so random. They just do. They're crazy. They run around. You're like, okay, there's no way they come A site right now. Boom, you got one player backwards B hopping into A site, and then he frags all three of you, and you're like, what just happened? So I'm just saying, like, you never know what to expect. They're always exciting because they're crazy. They just do crazy things.
Yeah, so now looking forward to band pick. Brazil as a region has always you point at Mexico, right? As something that if I didn't know much about a Brazilian team, I would probably ban Mexico.
Yes,
because
for sure.
And I
Their
think
spray control is nuts, so you don't want to play close games or close quarter maps against them.
So what about a team like here for TNC? What kind of ban? Just not knowing as much as you would like to about a team, but knowing they're from the Philippines and knowing a couple of the players on the team.
I would honestly, I would ban their best map in just Makta, because that's the iconic team.
Right, that's what you would have to look at Makta and say.
Best map, in my opinion, from them is Subbase and Black Widow. Those two maps, they're just nuts. So if I can ban either one of those, I'm banning one of those. But I would rather ban Black Widow, that's for sure. Because most people can compete with them on Subbase, even though they win so much on Subbase. They're so good at it. But Black Widow, if you don't have a beast of a sniper to take out, see, I'm not sure about how good their sniper is, but if we're just talking about comparison to Makta, if you can't take out Revenge on Black Widow, there's not much else you can do. So you got to ban Black Widow.
That's a good point. I really love watching sniper positioning on Subbase and Black Widow, on Black Widow and Subbase even.
Yeah.
I think they're two really good maps if you have a strong sniper in tow.
Especially if he can play a lot of positions, because Subbase, he can just roam around and pick everybody. If he doesn't play like a steady position on GR side, you're just like, you don't know what to expect.
That for me, the iconic sniper on Subbase is NP.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Because
positioning.
You're right. He's a positional sniper, not as much as reliant on mechanics. So if you see a sniping like that, then Subbase snipers can be terrifying.
Detrimental to your team, that's for sure.
As we do get a look here at Kino, and there the man
Old
you
face
said there,
from Supremo, by the way.
Supremo.
Yeah. A lot of new blood, like I said. Ryuzo.
Ruzo.
How are we gonna pronounce that one? Akemi.
We're gonna have to bring them over and have them give us a lesson here in how they want their names pronounced. We'll say Akemi for now, I guess. And then Rage J there on the end,
along with the player I talked about before, BRK Brinks.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and use Brinks here. I might slip in some BRK. I'm just afraid I'm going to say BRKT, which is another Brazilian player. Maybe that's a
BRKTT?
shout out. Yeah. Maybe it's a shout out to BRKTT. But I think I would love to see some sub base here. I think it's one of my favorite maps actually.
Honestly, matchups on sub base are generally tight games, and so it makes a lot of it. And there's a lot of like corridors, like tight spaces, like L turn from middle, the corridor that goes from middle to B site. A lot of spray downs can happen there. You go from the B control into the B locker room. A lot of spray downs, a lot of exciting combos and stuff can happen there. A down, everything's just tight. It's not long and open.
It's also with hard corners.
Yes.
So for me, it's an exciting map to watch because you see a lot of set pieces.
True.
Where it's
you
just
can do
like
a lot of
we're
set
gonna
strategy, right?
we're gonna run. This person is going to move to this location at this time. You know, hard set pieces that you don't really get to see on, like you can't run necessarily hard set pieces on a map like Black Widow where you got to kind of feel out where the defense is sometimes, or
you kind of wait and see if they can make a mistake. Yeah.
But we'll have to see what we get. There you go, the man on your screen, Brinks, who
young. I think he's like 17.
Yeah, he looks like a young gun. That's for sure. Let's see. We should be able to tell here from
the little fingers.
Oh, did he? He threw.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a 2000.
It's crazy.
He's an aught.
I didn't even know it was possible to be born past 1990s.
He is an aught. So that would make him, 17. Mm-hmm. He's 17. That is a young gun. We've got a couple men in this tournament. I mean, looking at... Well, finally we do get into band pick. I'm actually really excited to see what these bands are going to be.
Band. That's solid. That's solid. Okay.
So that's going to be against...
Do you know what,
Kino
honestly...
there.
The
double Ankara band.
Wow.
The blind double Ankara, and we're going to end up on port.
That's a good matchup right there. That's like the best of both worlds. That's like a sub base combined with a Black Widow. There's open spaces, and then there's tight corridors.
That's a
great map. This will be a lot of exciting. You can do strategy on this map, and you can just do just chilling back, waiting for mistakes, maybe pick in the middle or something like that.
It'll be a good match to get a read on both teams. What they like to do.
Whether they like to do picks or strategy. Yeah.
Did you catch it? Did you get an eye there on who's
GR
got slide?
Well, no, I did not.
Left side was TNC, so you'd have to assume that they would pick
GR.
100%.
Right.
GR if you have side select, you're going to take it to the defense.
Exactly. On most maps in CF, and it once again with port, GR is the stronger side.
Port,
now it's not
especially.
Now it's not like the old Mexico. Okay, so people started getting better strategies on Mexico to where it became the lesser GR-sided map than port. So port is now, I would say, the most GR-sided map, whereas Mexico for years was the most GR-sided. Where if you got like 2 rounds, man, you did okay. But now on port, if you get a solid GR side, just to let you know, you'd be looking for a 7-2.
Yeah.
You're looking for a 7-2. That's what you're wanting.
I always
feel comfortable for the next side.
See, I always put par for the course at 6-3, so it's interesting to hear you say 7-2. 7-2, I just feel like it's going to creep into your mind that it's too easy.
It's too easy.
7-2.
Yeah. I mean, that's a possibility, but the reason why I say 7-2 is just because if I'm on GR side and I'm looking for, okay, it's not amazing, but it's not bad, then yeah, 6-3. But if what you're looking for is a 7-2, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So like not bad is 6-3, exactly. But what you want is a 7-2.
So then what I said is fair, right?
Yeah,
6-3 is par for the course, so you're looking for a 7-2. Yeah, I agree, 100%. Let's go ahead and get into it. Will be TNC versus OPK. Let's get it up.
Looks like TNC may be on GR side because the name is in blue. So I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't think it's any surprise that knowing TNC had side selected, they ended up on
100%.
on a global.
Early aggression into B tunnels here. And like I said before, if you're starting off in a LAN match, just for all you out there, you people wanting to go to LAN, the first match, you usually want to start out aggressive on T side. Take some sort of map control or take a site. That way you're setting the pace, and this is what it looks like the Brazilian side is looking to do here. And they come in, they get an easy 2-picks, 2-for-2 trade right here.
Back and forth early, but that's going to let them onto this B site. And anytime you can get onto a site here on port, you're already pleased with yourself looking forward. Even though we do have a 3-on-3 retake, and they will have pretty good angles. Spray down through the smoke. He picks up
flash.
2. Blindly spraying through smoke, and he looked like he gets another one there through it. And that's,
wow.
I mean,
What a surprising retake.
a round
That was
save.
fast. That was like, as soon as they planted the bomb, TNC was like, we're not waiting around, we're going in. They went right through the smoke, right through the flashes. It's a Filipino style. Like I said, they are crazy. They don't care. They will go through anything. They'll do anything.
Right. On paper, what you just said is a terrible idea. I'm gonna run through this smoke,
Exactly.
through this flash, and I'm just gonna pick up 2 kills. Don't even worry about it. It's fine. Trust me.
Wow.
Yeah. So again, similar to first round, we see poking in and really fast start here for Port. It's so common to see this map get run down to
Early picks.
late in the round.
Oh, you're saying it's common to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Of course you're looking for picks, right?
Yeah, like I was saying before, looking for picks in middle is, okay, if you're going to play a pick strategy on port, the only real place you can do it is middle. And so that's what they're doing here. You see bullets flying back and forth. You saw an early pick in the mid. That's just what it says that confirms exactly what I was saying earlier. And then the only other place you can really do it is at A site.
You have to say, though, early on here, you might slightly favor OPK so far just because that retake was unexpected, right? And then they pick up the early man advantage here, although it is retaken there by MKC, but at a large cost for his life. Not going to be the one peeking here for the rest of the round, I would imagine. As we do see OPK with the bomb in hand, looks like they might go here for a hard B execute at the 1 minute mark, closing in now towards the end of the round. Still plenty of time to work with, though. That hopping, that
They're
wall.
have to deal with this. This is a good defense here. Playing the passive defense where you get a man rotating from middle here. Crossfire, right, exactly. Crossfire the pit. This is a good defense from TNC here. Let's see if we can pull it out. But he turned it
Madal's
around.
in such
His
a good
teammate
position, he can't pull it out there, and they close it out there. Beautiful
Goodness,
round there
that's
from
beautiful there.
OPK.
Yeah. Small mistakes is what lose you rounds. He should have been watching his right side and trusting his teammate to watch his top, but he turned around, and that's exactly why he died.
Yeah, it wasn't. It didn't feel quite. The setup was good, and then the execution didn't feel quite as coordinated as you would like it to be, and OPK tore it apart almost immediately, and that's going to even us up here, 1 apiece. OPK looking good coming out here so far, I would say.
Yeah. Those honestly 2 good takes on the B. The first one, they took tunnels beautifully, 2-for-2 trade. Honestly, if you don't know, just to let you know, if you don't know much about CF, 1-for-1 trades on T side or FPS games in general, 1-for-1 trades on T side are ideal actually. Like they're not bad if you're on the BL side.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
What's the percentage on you making that jump that BRK hit?
Oh, 100%. I'm actually we call it the Harvey jump in North America, and I've gotten really good at it. I can hit it most of the time, like probably 80%, 90%.
I've seen some of the best players just completely fail that jump.
Yeah,
like more than once in a row.
Dude, you have to practice that, man. You have to have confidence too. Like even if you practice it, if you're just like, oh, I might mess this up, you're gonna mess it up.
That being said, we do see it does look like another hard B execute. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? As OPK gonna come around this corner, lots of equipment coming out, and double kill there from Mandala, gonna be traded out for a double kill there from Rage. And again,
good look here.
Isn't quite able to find it there though. But again, onto the site pretty cleanly here. They should have a bomb plant when they so desire. They are holding on to it. Perhaps feeling a little bit of pressure here from this spray from Mac. Unable to put it down so far.
This is actually good composure here from TNC. They're not in the earlier round. They just ran in, and here they go again as soon as the bomb's planted. Not a bad decision, but earlier in the round they were composed once the site was being taken from them. And it looks like Academy in a bad spot here to see if he can pull anything out. He was already taken down. We got 1 player left in the tunnel, KZZ, and he can't pull it out either.
It's
That was actually a really good retake, and it all started with the composure from when the site was being taken from them. And then once the bomb was planted, they did the same thing they did before. They just aggressively pushed as soon as the bomb was planted.
That's a very good point. Perhaps OPK was. I think that might have been what they were worried about. They had the site cleanly taken, and they were like, "Oh, we'll hold off on this bomb for a second. They're just gonna run in here." But they switcheroo on you, and
crafty.
Yeah, there you go. And it does look like we might finally see some action here towards this A-long. It looks like a set piece here coming. They're going to have to do something. Ooh! And Dark going to pick up one. Unable to find a second through this flash. That flash going to fade out pretty quickly there, though. And I think they've... Oh, no! It's the bomb carrier, and that's a terrible smoke. That's not where the smoke wanted to be.
The smoke followed its heart. That's what it did.
I guess so. You're going to have to walk through the smoke to get that bomb. Oh, that's devastating.
And this is a good rotation here from TNC. I think they just saw the bomb was down, honestly, and now MKC is underneath a connector. Good spot.
Oh, it's so awkward now here for OPK. What do you do here what's the call now if you're OPK?
Well, if you hadn't messed up that smoke, it was to get the bomb early.
Right.
Before they realize and rotate over. But now that they've rotated over, you have to take control of a connector. Maybe you just rush up mid because you know they're probably stacking toward A. But that's like your only decision at this point.
Ooh, a dunk there onto Akami from Mac. We'll put the man advantage here for TNC. And as you said, it does look like TNC is making that hard commit towards the connector. Does it look like RGM, who is lurking there, is going to get taken out. But still, you have the issue of the bomb being down right in the sights of Dark, who already has one on the round. It's not a job I would volunteer for to go pick up that bomb.
No, this is actually slowly falling into the hands of OPK. They're taking so much map control here. And at this point, TNC really needs to do something, anything. Maybe drop out of AC, take A long control, or drop off at A top, drop down, go to mid, take mid control with AC.
The RKK in a really good pick. That's a huge pick. But that being said, TNC turning it back around, and they still have control over the bomb and only one man to pick it up. But it is the man who is foretold as the best player in Brazil. He's going to pick it up and gonna look for the H. Oh my goodness,
that was close. HP. Took him down to 9 HP.
Whew. If that shot on the hand had instead been a body shot,
that would have been an easy kill, a stomach shot.
But so it makes it danger there for them.
Again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. I think my stomach might be a little against the A push after that smoke, if nothing else. Flash, a lot of equipment coming back from both. Ooh, that's going to be a big win there for RGM as he takes down 2. But trades coming back and forth, and only Akami left alive. And that's a very clean round there for TNC.
That was a good hold, a really good hold. They changed up their setup a little bit, and it worked out.
I mean, I think they got a full 5-man flash as everybody came around the corner, which is worst case scenario. And that's a little bit of showing you how port can be so difficult.
You know, just it goes to show once you like you said, how difficult BO site on port is, because they took B site like what 3 rounds, and they took it clean. They took it nice. They had control of the site, but then they lose the rounds. I think they won 1, they lost 2. But you still lose the rounds because the retake is also hard to stop.
Yeah.
So that's what makes port such a difficult map for BL.
It's such a clean and safe rotation.
Yes.
To either direction.
And even if you're not rotating into the site, you can stay so close to the site in CT, or even just make your way into tunnels and be so close to the B site.
Not to mention the holding, the easy deep holds you have, easy deep holding positions like on B site where you can be on the wall, you see them coming in, there's too many for you to handle, you just drop off the wall, they can't see you. And so, it's hard, especially if Dark can continue to put the pressure down here on that A site and be able to solo hold with the op. And that's huge here on this map for me. If, Akami can turn this corner and take that duel with him, then it completely changes the complexion of this map. But until they can prove that they can stop Dark from just... Ooh, that's a big kill there from MKC.
Good timing.
Yeah.
MKC's really showing up huge, 9-2 right now.
That's a very good point, right? Did he change his name again?
No, there's an MAC and an MKC. But beautiful, a nice quick scope there from Dark. Let's see if he can get this triple kill. He doesn't know when coming up on ladder. Actually, yes, he does. And this should be an easy frag.
Oh, my Lanta.
3K for him. See if he can clean this up. Get a nice 4-piece.
He has an idea. Oh,
This should be
no,
an easy shot.
man.
And there we go.
That was a huge round from Dark. I mean, that's
Beautiful quick scope. Good call from his teammates. That one was ladder. He just turns, scopes in. You can't go up the ladder that quick. You're done. If he scoped in on you, just like a gopher, just popping up. Oh, I guess there's more winter coming.
right. It reminds me. I can't remember. I can't remember where I saw it, but where somebody climbs up the ladder, and then they see somebody looking directly at them, and they stop, and then slowly start to descend the ladder, and then get shot.
Yeah, it's probably a GIF somewhere. Yeah.
I'm sure it is, but that kills me. That there's nothing you can do at that point. You are just 100% a sitting duck. But again, we've seen signs of life here from OPK. They can easily turn this back around and put a couple more rounds on the board. You know, you only need so many on port, and it looks like they might have read out that mid here is weak. And they can get the clean through there. Looks like they're going to try and take control of the B site from the backside. And now a little bit split here. They got to make it work here a little bit faster here, and they will find it.
Nice one from Acme.
The
Wow, that was a nice shot. I don't even think he saw him. Maybe he did a little bit though. That was a beautiful shot.
Game sense, baby. Game sense. And it will be Dark left alone on the retake, and a good mix up there from OPK, giving a different look to the round and able to completely split the defense. It was a little bit slow. I was worried about them getting flanked
Collapsed,
there, right?
yeah.
Collapsed in
Spotted
upon.
and collapsed, yeah.
Dark has his position caught out there, and Rage J. I'm just going. We're just gonna go for Rage. How about that? Because otherwise he's just gonna turn into Rage.
Or maybe Rage. Maybe the J is silent. Rage.
Perhaps.
You gotta mix it up on us like that.
Yeah. And another new look here, Rage. Once you take that is a one-way trip off of that edge. That's always for me the easiest way to know if you're actually going to go for that commit there, and the drop does come through. There's nowhere left to go. It is going to be an A commit, and finally they're able to take. There we go.
That was a beautiful. They should be able to clean up this round. He gets 2 kills. That should not be happening. What a mistake right there. But a nice shot from him. RGM coming up. He should be able to get this headshot right here. Oh, but he almost gets up clean. It's a nice pick there from Brinks. He's got the punches out for his team. They need this round. They need this round. Don't let them. Can't let him push up and sit on the stairs like this. You got to collapse on him. You got to do something. They're both CT. They know this. Let's see what Brinks can do. Maybe they can peek together. Do they leave the bomb A long?
No, the bomb is in hand. They just yet to place it. There's still plenty of time to work with, and they know they're in a 2-on-2. So not.
Oh, there we go. Nice pick.
Get aggressive.
He's peeking from A long, and his teammate collapsed from the top. That was a good setup there by them.
The bomb should be down by now, though, guys. Come on now. It will go down as I say that. But they almost wait too long, and it will be Mac who is able to pick one up.
He has no bullets if he peeks now. Oh, this should be a win. Yes, there we go. Brinks clutching that out for his team. I think he got 2 kills in the round, maybe 3. But either way, his kills were impact frags, that's for sure. He got the vital kills that were like rotational frags that could have just tore up the attack.
And now a couple rounds on the board here for OPK. You know, 3 is 4 would be huge. You'd feel
they already
great,
have 3 though. That's
3
a nice
you're
number.
already feeling safe. You feel like you can definitely pick up 6.
Look, this is. I never see teams doing this anymore. And he's got a perfect B hop going. That's so hard to do on that ledge. Wow. That's all I gotta say, RGM. Congratulations, my man. I can't even B hop like that smooth on top of that ledge. It's so hard. If they try to go B, that is danger. It's gonna be a hard one.
A little bit of damage traded back and forth there through mid, but Mac Gate worse for the wear there. And as we can see, the hop continued there for RGM, and it could pay out. Well, OPK yet to really commit one way or the other. Thinking maybe about another push here through mid or onto Cat. It does look like Cat's going to be the call there. Yet to commit. Can't decide them, can they? And it will be
They look like they're going to be going for some
Like a
sort of
split.
A split. Or maybe an A split through mid. They got one into A connector, not sure. Or they're faking toward A. Going out mid to B, one of the two.
I think that pick there may have changed their minds.
Or they're going to go out mid and leave Brinks here as a lurker. That would be actually a great idea.
It looks like they're actually just going to back off and maybe hard commit towards B.
Oh, here comes the B-hop. The B-hop going to hop on top of your head. It's going to be like Mario. He's just going to be binking on top of their head. Bink,
Goomba stomping.
bink, bink. You're gone.
We'll see how it plays out here as what in theory is a pretty smart play there to change your.
If he messes up, they're going to see his foot. How has he kept this going for so long? This man is a beast.
Although, as we say that, Rage going to pick up 2 there onto A, and that could actually make all of that built-up tension for nothing, as A ends up collapsing under TNC's feet, and
just need a solid hold right
5-on-2 retake here going to be borderline impossible.
Yeah,
2 there already for
okay.
RGM, but they should be able to clean it out knowing his position now, and Brinks even got an eye on him. Ooh, but it looks like they both saw each other. Spray's coming back and forth. He's unable to find it there.
Is he going to do it? So close. All that B-hopping must have amped up his fragging ability here, because quick 2 kills. He's getting a 1v5 pretty much. A third kill? He was right beside his head right there. That was maybe an inch off. Man, he just had to B-hop for maybe another 30 seconds. He would have had that round.
Yeah, there you go. Or perhaps he would have had that last kill if stamina hadn't been coming into play. Where the finger stamina of hopping so long.
His thumb was too tired.
Exactly. So, a big first half there for OPK. Going to come out 4-5 and going to be feeling very comfortable coming into the defensive side.
For sure.
But much crazier things have happened on port. I've seen defenses crumble. And
I've been in games where we're playing against top teams and we get 7-2 when they're on T side. They're 7, us 2 on GR, and we still pull it out and tie it up or win it. So anything's possible. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, port can have some weird stuff happen. That's for certain. I've seen defenses crumble more than I've seen attacks be crazy good. But we'll have to see what OPK is going to do coming into the defensive half and what TNC can do to counter it. Bomb is going to be dropped there towards mid. Left alone here for a while as it is picked up, but it does look like we're going to play it pretty slow here and look for some picks as TNC. What do you think of this hold here towards A that Brinks is in?
That's a good position. Honestly, he's peeking pretty wide on it though. What I would do if I was in that position is just watch a little crack for them to beside the AC box. So that A connector box right there, I'd watch a little crack for them to drop down. And he boosted up the sniper there, and a beautiful pick, unexpected. I didn't even see them boosting that. I
didn't either.
That was a good play, really good play. And now that he's hiding there, A can make him honestly rotate off, go middle, and he's in such a good hiding spot there. They'll be looking for the opper everywhere. They'll be scared, looking around for him, and they won't expect the guy just sitting there. So this is a good play.
Yeah, they also, I don't think they peeked it early, so they don't know when that boost happened. They don't even know if there are still 2 people there.
They weren't peeking afterwards. That's the important part, yeah.
And so that's going to put a big hitch in their plan here. Oh, big rotate there from OPK number 3 there, who is that's on a long jaunt here. He might not make it in time, but as the B execute is going to come out, but it's stalled out, and this is going to be huge. Oh, they're throwing out equipment to
one by one peeking. What is happening here? The TNC's round is just falling apart.
But he's getting backstab.
Rage and looks like Brinks. Rage picks up the 3K. Brinks picks up a beautiful headshot there. What a round.
Brinks with the backstab.
Yeah. They just took too long, and then they went out one by one. What was that? They had a good round to start it off, and then that.
Well, because of that huge that lurk that Brinks made, they had their position locked down. Yeah, he did the full end around from A side, from those boxes all the way around. So they threw they threw flashes in there so that they couldn't to buy time.
Another B side execution coming in here from TNC, but this time they go in early in the round because they want to take that B side. They want to assert that control. Let them know we can take this from you, and yeah, they can. Let's see what the retake is going to look like here from OPK. We got one lurking tunnel.
Bomb down to 30 seconds and 5 men to kill for 3. and doing a really good job here for TNC, playing it aggressively and pushing them off, making the defense quite simple and really clean around there from TNC.
All 5 left alive.
I didn't get to finish my point there though.
Yeah.
So they threw flashes into that room because they knew either they're executing now or Brinks has a backstab on all of them for free. And so it delays them by just enough time because I was worried he made this huge run all the way from B all the way around.
Don't want that to be worthless.
Right. And
Yeah.
they were about to come break through and they threw flashes in there and said, no, not yet, wait for him.
Relax, bro, just chill.
And he gets there just in time to make that, to clean that up from behind. Anyway, as we look forward, it is 6-5 here now. Important for TNC to finally get or to get around that. Nice pick again from the same spot. He's flashed out, but
They can't seem to clean him up.
Yep, and only MKC. They know where his position is. They know where the bomb is. He's in a terrible position where he can't fall back. This is round over. Barring some sort of complete collapse from OPK.
You know, what I noticed here is on the TNC takes, they don't really throw flashes, they don't really throw smokes. And so what really brought that round to a loss for them was that they didn't throw anything. They didn't do anything. And so Akimi had just like a perfect spot and they couldn't kill him because they didn't blind him, they didn't do anything.
Right, pretty much free, no pressure put onto him. Gets to make those shots in a vacuum. Yeah, that's going to be the dream of any sniper right there, right?
And what they should have done, just to let you know, for anybody who's looking for a flash, as soon as you drop out of the AC, if you're taking A site, you want to flash that box where they were standing. So what you do is you bank it off of the site itself, and it lands right in front of them when they're standing off that box.
We need
to take the site.
You need that flash as well as one up onto the site.
Of course, yeah.
Got to cover your bases, of course. Yeah, I've definitely seen plenty of equipment
That would have
come out
probably
of
won the round
A
for
site.
them. Easy 2 kills.
Yeah. Especially because he's on top of those boxes. He's going to have a really rough time getting back down. And even if he does, he can still spray through those boxes, and you might end up picking up 2 as there's another man there.
Ah, the lucky. I've always wanted the lucky.
Oh, well, how about that?
I'll take
Thank you. And it will be Madala picking up the first kill of this round and then flash out. And Bruce, how he's found himself in this video, I didn't notice, but he's...
Oh, 2K! Oh, both headshots, man.
As well, yeah.
I see you, Brinks.
How did he get in that position again?
You know, it's probably because TNC is making noise that loud, but I imagine since their attack is so disjointed, they're probably just making noise in the tunnel. And that just gives the GR, like, over here, maybe 2 or 3 B site. Okay, Brinks, just go ahead and PK long, push it. Just see if anybody's there. Nobody's there? Alright, I guess I'll rotate behind them. That's just kind of how it goes, you know?
Yeah, and if you can get all the way to it's so impossible to get yourselves out of that position. You've officially lost the strategy war if they know exactly what room all 5 of your players are in. And that's going to be another round there on the board. It's still tight here coming towards the end. It's been a good one back and forth. That's he has looked a little bit better, but great rounds out of TNC. Those Slotties themselves a nice information gathered from Brinks, although he may have just been saying, I'm going again. That may not have been a peak for information, that may have been a upcoming there on that B side.
Oh, that was a beautiful flash from his teammate. Earns him 2 kills, almost 3. He misses by so close, but he's at command control.
He put him on 1 HP.
He did dink him, huh? Yeah. Hit him in the head. He's goose. Well, that was a beautiful round there. The teamwork from OPK was beautiful. They just tossed a flash for him. He just turned backwards. And it was over.
8 kills now.
And a lot of impact frags too. Not even just straight kills.
9 kills now for Brinks.
I mean, he's like backstabbing. He's doing everything for his team.
10 kills now for Brinks.
He's going off. We are only 4 rounds into this half. He has more than 2 kills per round right now.
Yeah, he's certainly showing up. he didn't look like the best player in Brazil in the first half,
Yeah.
but he's certainly showing up
Third
now.
best player in Brazil.
He did not look like it. He just was a bit quiet. Right? You hadn't seen him pop off. There were lots of firefighting.
That's
here.
about a bullet for nobody dying. Well, there we go. The first one to fall is Dark, and then RGM falling. So TNC taking a ton of this. Almost no damage on OPK.
That's 11.
He's popping off.
How
How many
many did he
surprised
have?
to end with 12?
Is he
here.
going to get a 20? Did he have a 20 bomb?
No, I don't think there's any way because they would have to lose.
No, I'm saying just for the
Both
maps,
halves?
right? For both halves. I don't remember what he had on his first half.
But this was quite a rough round from. I saw them throwing a lot of nades, and he got another one. 12. I saw them throwing a lot of nades, but just straight grenades. I don't think I've seen them throwing flashes or smokes or anything. But, I mean, if you want to safe take the B-10, you smoke the bomb entrance, you flash it, and then you burst onto it.
Yeah,
But
and
they're not doing any of this stuff, so they're losing because of that.
again, a new team. You have to wonder if it's a little bit of nerves.
Maybe. Yeah.
Brings always gets so aggressive. You can
just
tell
doesn't
he
care.
feels it. He knows he's on fire.
He knows he's the best player in the game.
Right. That being said, it will be Madala who picks up the early kill there. On to Rage J. I swear that's the only way to say it. You have to put that pause there, or else you're going to end up messing
I'm
it
going to
up
just go for
somehow.
Rage.
There you go. There's
you-
the word.
you can kinda flow with that.
I'm probably just going to start saying Rage. Because it's just rude for him to add a J onto that. Dark going to pick one up there onto Alchemy, and it looks like maybe TNC able to calm it down here, get a couple of picks. They've taken a bunch of damage across the board cumulatively, but everybody's still with enough,
Decent amount of HP.
right, decent HP.
But still, this is going to be a tough one for them. They're going to have to play sort of aggressive on at least some part of the map. They can't just sit back.
I'd like to see a second, especially now that you have so much. Just take the A, execute. The only way you can lose this round is if you all come through that B door and just get headshotted one by one like ducks in a row.
That'd be a crazy round. Yeah, I would. Honestly, at this point, I think they saw one toward A. So I would just go B, but looks like they're just going to go for the A execute, so that's fine still. They have 5 people.
I think
They
it's
should be
the
able to win this.
safest call there. I mean, there's.
Well, I thought they saw somebody at A.
there's that,
No, don't do it to him. That's 2. That's 3. It's a 1v2 right now. He was off. He's got the spray.
Oh my God!
What? What is that? What a way to win! Why is that the last round? That is demoralizing. I feel bad.
Was that the ultimate caster curse?
He's like, we should go away.
That's
And
what
look
there's-
what happened.
that's what it's
You
the
are not
safest
calling
and
straps
easiest
for my
play.
team. I'm going to tell you that right now.
That's fair. I should not be the one calling shots for your team. But I mean the fact that we reacted so heavily to that still proves that this is not a bad decision to go A, even if they're both
they have
stacked on
5
A. You have 5. It's a 5-on-2. There's only so many places they can be.
Once again,
They did. It flashed him out.
Oh my god.
Look at the exact flash you said off of the site, right in
That was
front
just
of him.
unfortunate. That was just great individual playing.
I don't know. We didn't see if there was a flash up onto the site where the other player
Yeah.
was holding, but there was definitely a flash onto that box.
I gotta wind my jacket out a little bit. That was pretty
That-
fire right there. Got me a little.
It was certainly unexpected, and
Wow.
maybe OPK. Unfortunate was the last round because that would have been
That's what I was saying.
such a tilter.
That is. Well, I think it's even worse that it's the last round because how do you lose on that? You were in a 5v2. It's not how do you lose because that happens. I'll give it to him.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like, the fact that it did happen. You're in a 5v2. That should be almost like a 95% chance of winning. And then it just happens. The 5%. You go to the site. They're both stacked there. I guess they were in spots they maybe didn't expect.
I think
And the spin down
95%
happened.
is even like underselling it a little bit.
99%. Yeah.
Like the 5v2.
I was just trying to give them a little.
especially with the amount of equipment they had.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Nades and everything. Yeah.
all of the kills that came early weren't through smokes or it wasn't flashing somebody and then taking them out. It was just clean picks
It really was.
through mid and stuff
And,
like that.
I think They honestly still should have won the round. Yes, it was a good play from the Brazilians, but I think it was a little bit of nerves, like you were saying earlier, because the shots that he was hitting were taking a while to hit. You know what I mean? The last
Right,
two
it
kills,
wasn't like
they couldn't
ting, ting,
easily.
ting, ting.
Yes, exactly. So I think nerves maybe had a bit to do with it right there.
I mean,
And maybe it's surprised that you're like, oh, my teammates, where'd they go?
right? That's also a good point. But I mean, you'd have to say that losing that round is a little bit bonkers, and it's gonna cut a little bit deep there. We'll see moving forward if TNC can bring it back. But big win there from OBK. Good to see from them, and it brings definitely an exciting player. But
Player to watch.
we're gonna go ahead and take a break, and we'll be back with our next match right after this.